Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Football Geekout program.
Oh my god!
What?
What the hell, man?
I'm nervous.
That is a perfect introduction. This is the Football Geekout program. This is episode 1.
Is that the title? Did we pick the title Football Geekout? I've forgotten all about that.
We literally have every social media with Football Geekout, so if that's not it, then we're pretty screwed.
I feel like currently only 2 out of the 3 people here are geeks.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're a geek for something. Anyway, this is a football program, NFL football. I guess we'll have a little bit of college if we have to talk about it, but I know almost nothing about college football.
I love college football. I'm down to talk about college
So,
football.
my name is Adam. With us, we have Mike and Michael. Yes, we're doing this. This is our first episode. We are already in front of listeners. I'm technically streaming this.
Something?
Yeah, I'm technically
I was about to say, are you
streaming
twitching it?
I'm not. Yeah, I think I'm actually twitching it. But regardless, this is what we're doing. So we have some topics that we're going to be covering today. We have a panel of experts.
Whoa! First of all, you're gonna have to stop doing voices and
Take all the fun out of this, Mike. That's fine.
Yes, sir. And I'm really conscientious about saying the wrong thing, to be totally honest.
Yeah, because we have a total of 9 people that are going to listen to this.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this: Are we trying to keep this? What's the age? What's the parental guidance rating we're shooting for here? Are we shooting for G, PG, PG-13? Are we keeping it adults only?
I'd say PG-13. That way,
that's at least one F word.
Yeah,
that's at least one F word.
That's good for at least an F word.
Yeah,
all right.
we can slip up every once in a while, I think.
Adam, you say the F word first. Go ahead.
No, thank you. I'm good. Okay, so first question that we have comes from our own Mike.
Adam, what are questions, or are these on questions?
These are questions.
I think we're losing Mike's audio, or at least I am.
Are you? Okay, is this better?
There we go.
Okay.
We got Mike back. So the first question is, name 5 elite wide receivers currently in the NFL.
Yes, and so this was my question, and I don't know if I would not consider Des Bryant an elite wide receiver anymore.
No,
just because he's lost several steps. And
are we talking about fantasy or actual?
We're talking actual.
I think actual. So yeah, I think actual. But for instance, I would still consider Julio Jones an elite wide receiver. So I guess let's do our 5.
If we're going right now at this moment in the NFL season, DeAndre Hopkins, Antonio Brown. I'm trying to think of others that have been consistent, because it's been such an up and down season this season that I don't know if we have anybody that's been extremely consistent at the wide receiver position.
I would say Antonio Brown as well. I would also say Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins. I would also say AJ Green. I feel like he's an elite wide receiver, whoever is throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton.
I think he's just underappreciated because he's in such a bad offense.
Well, he's not as much of a prima donna as a lot of the other
wide
receivers. My last one, I said Keenan Allen because I feel like he is a good wide receiver, a very good wide receiver whoever's throwing the ball. But I just realized I forgot to list Mike Evans.
I think Mike Evans would have to take that last slot. Yeah.
I would probably still go Allen, but either way, Evans is acceptable. What do you say?
Some people will disagree with this answer. I think obviously you have to include Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That's an easy one.
I just forgot OBJ.
But OBJ. Odell Beckham Jr., man, how has nobody said that yet?
He's injured and he doesn't matter anymore.
No.
He's right. OBJ takes Allen's spot. Yes, I forgot about OBJ.
I don't care if he's injured and doesn't quote unquote matter to the rest of the season right now. You asked me, and I made sure to clarify if you were talking fantasy. You asked what the most elite wide receiver, top 5 elite receivers in the NFL. I don't care if he's injured and walking on crunches. Odell Beckham Jr. is a top 5 elite receiver any day, all day.
Top 3.
He's a top 3.
Tony Brown, OBJ,
I don't know who I'd put in the third though. It would definitely be Antonio Brown and Odell Beckham.
You're right.
Interchangeably at 1 and 2.
I think if you have Deshaun Watson throwing in the ball, then Hopkins is definitely that third. I mean, he's been lights out since Deshaun Watson took over.
To be fair, that means that Hopkins is an elite wide receiver when he has a great QB throwing him the ball. So
yeah,
and that's not my definition of an elite wide receiver, yo.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, well, all the ones that we've had are Super Bowl winners and like somewhat in the running for MVPs every other year or so.
I mean,
he has Eli Manning through him.
OBJ has Eli Manning.
So
he's the only one. I think that's the reason that I put him in the top 5 at all is because he's got Eli Manning and he's still making plays. But like Antonio Brown's got Ben Roethlisberger, and I mean, yes, this year he's been slowing down, but like every other year it's been Roethlisberger to Brown over and over again. And then
do you think that OBJ will be the highest paid player come next year?
No.
Do you think the Giants are going to do that? Because they've talked about him much money.
I think he should get paid more than Eli.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. I think he should get paid quarterback money at least. He should definitely be the highest paid wide receiver.
He should
absolutely be the highest paid wide receiver. I don't think it's going to be close to. I don't think it's going to be close to quarterback money, but it's definitely.
I mean, if you want my opinion. If you want my opinion, I think he should be getting paid more than Matthew Stafford. But do I think that's going to happen?
No.
Probably not.
No.
I think the Lions would agree with you there right now as well.
Yeah, at this point, I think you would be right. But no, I think he will be the highest paid wide receiver. The only one that I think might beat him out payment-wise is Antonio Brown, simply because of the. I feel like. I would not pay Odell Beckham more than Antonio Brown.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna happen that way.
Why is it not?
Oh, are you finished? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta
make it quick. We're about to
I'm not gonna say it's because one's better than the other. I'm gonna say if you look at the roster, the Steelers still have to pay Le'Veon Bell. They still have to pay Ben Roethlisberger. They still have to pay Martavius Bryant. They still got to pay all these other players. The Giants literally have one other player on that roster that they're paying, and that's Eli Manning.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
That is actually true.
Next question we got. This came from me. At this point, with the injuries that we have, with the devastating injury to Aaron Rodgers, who are the best quarterbacks in the AFC and then the NFC?
Remaining
uninjured quarterbacks. So Aaron Rodgers can't be in your thing. I think at this point the NFC, the best quarterback overall is Drew Brees.
In the NFC?
In the NFC.
Okay.
I think Drew Brees is the best quarterback in the NFC, and the AFC. The AFC is so terrible.
Josh McCown.
It's not Josh McCown. I mean,
Adam knows who it is, or he's not going to say it.
I don't want to say it's Tom Brady.
He knows who it is. No, you have to. You have to. Go ahead, Adam. Get it out. Get it out of the way.
We'll give you an out. You can say Deshaun Watson, but we all know you think it's Tom Brady.
At this point, based on numbers alone, it's Deshaun Watson. But Tom Brady is the better quarterback. Tom Brady is the best quarterback in the AFC. But numbers-wise and what he means to the team-wise, I think Deshaun Watson is becoming the best quarterback in the AFC.
Who did you have for the NFC?
Do what?
Who did you have for the NFC?
Drew Brees.
Oh, that's right. Drew Brees. Michael, what did you think, Michael?
For the NFC?
Both.
For both, I guess.
Well, that's a good question. I think for the AFC, it's Alex Smith has been playing pretty lights out.
Except for last week.
Stop. Shut your face. Don't even bring him up. Stop it. Just stop it.
I don't see if you can put Alex Smith anywhere close to that greatest in the AFC at this point.
Be serious. Be serious, Michael. Be serious.
Yeah, we want your serious answers.
Well, let's see. I would say Tom Brady's easily. This is in no particular order, and if we're talking about exclusively through Week 7 of the NFL season,
Yes.
I would say in the AFC probably Tom Brady, and again in no particular order. I would say Tom Brady, Alex Smith. I'd even throw. I'd throw Deshaun Watson in there right now. I'd throw Deshaun Watson in there.
You would take
sure.
if you were the GM of a team, you would take Alex Smith over Deshaun Watson.
Well, of course he wouldn't. But
no, of course I wouldn't.
In Week 7.
Of course, I would not. I would not. If I'm a general manager building a team, of course I'm going to take Deshaun Watson over Alex Smith. But through Week 7. Would through strictly Week 7? Let me tell you something, man. Alex Smith has the highest quarterback rating in the NFL right now.
Yeah, because he only throws like 14 passes a game.
No, dude. No. He's actually, if you look at his stats this year, it surprised me in the last game, honestly. He's throwing farther down the field. He's throwing farther down the field. He's averaging 273 yards a game. He's got 12 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. And he's averaging 8.5 yards a pass with 32 attempts per game. The dude is lighting it up.
I don't think that really.
The dude is lighting it up. So
because I think if you picked an AFC quarterback, you had to pick one. It would obviously be Tom Brady. Alex Smith would he would be the best one.
No, I don't disagree with you, but again, I'm just answering the question of who's been the best, top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL since Week 1 till now, and like if you leave Alex Smith off that list, you're just kidding yourself.
I will say in the NFC, I think my dark horse would be Russell Wilson. Stats-wise, he's not been the best, but I think out of all pure quarterback, just pure skill, he is the best. He's the top quarterback in the NFC for me. I mean,
really?
Yeah. Well, Aaron Rodgers is out, so it's obviously Aaron Rodgers. But he's injured.
I think the best quarterback in the NFC for me would be Tarek Cohen.
He has the best rating, probably.
Yeah, 1 for 1 and a touchdown. I mean,
you could say
can't
Carson
get any
Wentz maybe.
Carson Wentz, holy crap, that guy's been lighting up. I keep forgetting that the Eagles are a thing.
Yeah. So actually, though, no joke. Obviously, I think the unquestioned choice in all of that would be Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of the de facto choice.
Oh, yeah.
And if you'd asked me to pick one quarterback that I have to put on my team for one season in the NFL right now, and I'm not thinking about youth or talent or longevity, I would have picked Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady.
Oh yeah.
I would have picked Aaron
Rodgers
over every other quarterback.
Tom Brady, Russell Wilson for me.
What's your final 2, Michael?
Out of the NFC, I got to go probably, if I can't pick Rodgers because he's injured, it's a toss-up between Breeze and Wentz.
And then AFC, Tom Brady?
Tom Brady. Okay. Or Alex Smith because he's killing it. This is my call. So.
You were killing it. You're killing it right now. You're killing this.
And then I've got Tom Brady and Drew Brees.
Okay.
So next question comes from Mike, and it is, out of these wide receivers, who has the best rest of schedule? Who would you want? I'm assuming. Do you want to elaborate on that question real quick, Mike?
Yeah. So out of these 5 wide receivers, who do you think is going to be the best wide receiver down the stretch, if this is the stretch already? Julio Jones, Dez Bryant, DeAndre Hopkins, Kelvin Benjamin, or Demaryius Thomas? Yes.
Okay, so I pulled it up before because I wanted to. I never even thought about rest of schedule. I always think one week to 1 week kind of thing.
That's why Adam is near the bottom of our league at the moment.
I am second in our division, thank you. And I've beaten both of you guys this year.
Your division is garbage, Adam.
I've beaten both of you this year, so shut up.
I can't see you from up here. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if you look at the season as a whole, Julio Jones is going up against next week the Patriots and the Jets. Those are easy. He'll be able to. After that, it's the Panthers, the Cowboys, the Seahawks. All have great defenses. The Buccaneers, the Vikings, the Saints, who have been balling. The Buccaneers, the Saints, the Panthers.
The Saints are not as good as people think they are defensively. I'm just going to throw that out there. So go ahead.
So, and then you have Des Bryant is going up against the Redskins, Chiefs, Falcons, Eagles, Chargers, Redskins, Giants, Raiders, Seahawks, Eagles. I also don't trust Des Bryant in general because they're not throwing in the ball nearly as much. This is one of the ones that I like, and that's DeAndre Hopkins. He's got the Seahawks this week, which is going to be, or after the bye, which is going to be a little off. Then he's got the Colts, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Ravens, the Titans, the Niners, the Jags, the Steelers, the Colts. That's an amazing schedule for a number one. Go ahead.
I didn't get these questions beforehand, so I had zero opportunity to actually look up enough information to be able to answer this question. So
I would pick Julio Jones just because he has the largest sample size of being he's the best wide receiver out of these five to me. So I said they wanted to get him the ball more. I mean,
Kelvin Benjamin has a sneaky good schedule though. Like Bears, Buccaneers, Dolphins, Jets.
You have to count on too many variables with Kelvin Benjamin. Him catching the ball, Newton being a decent quarterback this year, Christian McCaffrey not catching 10 balls a game. So
that's the thing. I don't trust Demaryius Thomas or Des Bryant because they're just not showing that they got it. I would honestly just take Hopkins.
Has no wide receivers left, so that's why I had to put Demaryius Thomas in there. I mean, he's going to be the focal point.
I'd take Hopkins' schedule. Like that just seems like a great number one schedule.
So I'm looking at it right now, and I haven't finished looking at the other schedules, but Hopkins has a pretty nice schedule. To be honest, though, Julio Jones, his schedule's not as nice.
Yeah, it's a mean schedule, and considering that their offense has struggled to do anything, I mean, the Dolphins came back and whooped them in the second half, and Julio did I think it's like a one catch for 15 yards in the second half. When their offensive coach freaks out, the whole offensive thought process just goes down the toilet.
He's in the best. I think he's in the best setup, though. I mean, he has a great quarterback. He has a great running back. It's like a wide receiver to take pressure off of him, but I don't know. Hopkins.
I agree. I
imagine eventually Watson's going to run into some rookie issues. I mean, 5 TDs.
He's not gonna sustain this forever.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be it might turn out like the whole Carson Wentz fiasco, where everyone was like, "Is this the greatest quarterback ever?" After 3 weeks, and then we quickly realized, no, he's a rookie.
Which I mean, this year he's showing why. This year he's showing why he was taken first overall, though. Carson Wentz is killing it.
I'm sorry, Adam. No, stop, because somebody's gonna. If anybody actually ends up listening to this, you understand Carson Wentz wasn't drafted first overall.
Well, I know, but in the first round, that's what I meant. He was in the first round. He was second overall. Jared Goff was first.
Okay. All right. I saved your ass there, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, I meant to say first round.
There's that PG-13. And aside here, Cleveland passed on Wentz and Deshaun Watson. I mean, I've heard that on like every podcast.
Cleveland passed on everyone.
Cleveland, listen, it was literally. Here's what I think. I think that was divine intervention, because just the universe was like, you know what? We cannot allow the Browns to ruin the career of another promising quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, that's no disrespect to Deshaun Kaiser, because I think he could have been.
All the disrespect for Deshaun Kaiser.
R.I.P.
Okay, so the next question we got is worst front office for a quarterback.
Worst front office for a quarterback?
I gave 2 examples. It can be anyone. The examples I chose was Andrew Luck with the Colts and Russell Wilson with Seattle.
I agree with Luck and the Colts. I don't necessarily agree with Wilson.
They've given Wilson every opportunity to be successful. They had, I mean,
no, that's not true at all. They've
given they have a terrible offensive line.
They have a terrible offensive line, but they've got weapons for days.
No, they don't. Who? They have Doug Baldwin,
Richardson,
is that
Jimmy Graham, Luke Wilson.
What? You're smoking crack. You're literally on crack. Andrew Luck has much better weapons than Russell Wilson does. I mean,
Jack Doyle and whoever their second string receiver is.
T.Y. Hilton.
Doug Baldwin is doing just as good as T.Y. Hilton is.
Doug Baldwin is not near as good a receiver as T.Y. Hilton. No, T.Y. Hilton is much better than Doug Baldwin. Dante Moncrief is much better than whoever.
Dante Moncrief, is he even in? I thought he got traded to the Patriots.
No, that was Philip Dorsett.
Oh, Dorsett got traded to the Patriots.
Dante Moncrief is much better than whatever second receiver Seattle has. I mean, no offensive line. That's about the best.
See, I think we've talked about this question though in our group chat personally. I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. Like,
oh well, obviously.
That's the front office that I hate more than anything for wasting Aaron Rodgers away.
Do you really want me to get started on that?
I mean, this is your question, and that's the answer to your question. Is the worst front office for a quarterback is Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Like
at the very least, so to give some context to this, because I think if you just told your average person, oh, the Packers did a terrible job with Aaron Rodgers, they'd look at you and go, what? They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. For
context, the argument that we were having is that if you had put Rodgers in someone's hands, like say Bill Belichick, for example, he would have far, far, far more than just one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes. He would have gone to more than one. Hell, if you would have put him in Tom Coughlin's hand, he would have more than one Super Bowl.
That's true.
Or Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid would.
Oh my gosh.
Killed with Aaron.
Andy Reid with Aaron Rodgers would be. They'd be the new Patriots.
Nightmare.
That is true. Andy Reid. If you would put him with, I was going to say Pete Carroll, but no, because Aaron Rodgers would still have broken collarbone because they don't have an offensive line. I don't know. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is obviously the answer to the question, but I mean, how many times can we say that?
Other than that, here's my thing: is that if you want a front office that is the worst for their quarterback, it's also the Browns. It's like no matter what quarterback they get in there, they don't do it. I mean, they've had talented quarterbacks in there, and they've had not talented quarterbacks in there, and they've wasted both of them.
And incidentally, who have they had in there that's been talented?
I mean, I honestly think that Johnny Manziel was talented. He had bad coaches that didn't care about him and was like, "Oh, you're gonna party? That's fine."
Whoa. Okay.
If you put listen to my theory here.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay,
buckle up, children.
Seriously, strap in. This is gonna be a bumpy ride. Bill Belichick doesn't deal with crap, right? If you pull any kind of crap at all, you get cut from the team. It's as simple as that. You oversleep, you're cut from the team. You put Johnny Manziel with a coach that actually has strict guidelines. Gronkowski has the same lifestyle that Johnny Manziel does, but he was trained by Bill Belichick to show up to work, do your job, and go party on the weekends. If you put Johnny Manziel with a coach like that, you could have done that.
He would be cut. No, he would be cut because
I think that Gronkowski would have taken him under his wing and said, "Dude, we're the same guy. Let's learn this."
You were pushing a lot of
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, Adam. Here's the thing. A player like Johnny Manziel ended up on the Patriots in the first place because he is not a quarterback that Bill Belichick would have wanted.
You are correct. I'm just saying, if you give him a coach that would actually care enough about him to say, "Hey, you're being an idiot. Don't do that, or you're gonna get cut." but they
But
they
why
gave
do you?
him
But why do you think he didn't have that?
they gave him the
Why do you
keys to
think
the
he didn't have
kingdom,
that?
and they said you're gonna be the guy, and then they were like, well, you're not the guy anymore. Sorry.
No, they never said that.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. I think he should have been handled better. But I totally disagree with like if he had a coach that cared about him. I don't think it was a lack of care or concern.
I don't think it was.
I think they mismanaged him.
Yeah, I think it was
I think
a lack of communication between the people in charge and him.
But it's also I know you guys don't watch college football or don't keep up with it like I do. Like his issues didn't surprise me in the least.
Oh
like,
no, he was a party guy before he left college.
Even if he'd showed up, like even if they'd instituted a system like the Patriots, right, where you screw up and you get cut, like it's like what Mike said. Manziel, if he somehow found his way on the Patriots, he would have just been cut. He wouldn't have been trained and honed into some great athlete. He would have just been cut.
That's fair enough. Okay, so we've got do that one more. Do that one last thought, Mike. Here's the last thought about
I was just saying, I think you're giving too much credit to coaching via Rob Gronkowski. I think he has a good work ethic just by himself. So
fair enough.
I've listened to him in some interviews, and he seems like he's got his head on fairly straight. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we've got one last question for this inaugural podcast.
Thank Christ.
Yeah.
This is from a fantasy perspective, Michael. Overproduction and underproduction players this year in fantasy. So we're talking like the ones that we expected to do really well that haven't, and the ones that we didn't expect to do anything that have done amazing. For me personally, and I know that this is different for you guys because I think that you guys had a different thought about how it was going to work out, but I was disappointed that Marshawn Lynch has not gotten the carries that they said he was going to get. I drafted him because they said like he was going to be the featured back. He was going to get 30 carries a game, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's not the offense the Raiders run. And that was my thing, right? Like everybody that was saying that, I was like, Marshawn Lynch will be good because he's Marshawn Lynch, but he's not going to be. I'll put it this way: he's not on my list because I am totally not surprised by any of his production this year.
Fair enough. And then my underproduction, I listen to a lot of podcasts, including some fantasy podcasts, and everyone, and you guys know my appreciation for Jarvis Landry. Basically, everybody said don't do it, don't draft him unless you're in PPR because he's not going to score touchdowns. And even if you are in PPR, he's going to score maybe, he's going to have 10 catches for 30 yards. He's going to give you 13 points, all that kind of stuff. But he's been, the past 2 games, he's caught a touchdown each game, and he's been giving me 20 points a week. And so Marshawn Lynch is my disappointment. Jarvis Landry is my my lucky overproduction.
I will say that Jarvis Landry basically is still what he's always been, and I don't think he's topped 100 yards the entire year. But either way, he's been better than I thought. My underachiever is probably LaShawn McCoy.
Ooh.
Cast that he did last year, same team around him, and he average time this year. I mean, he's really been, and he's gotten carries. He just has not produced.
Yeah, in our PPR league, he only has 68 points. Like, I didn't realize that he was having that bad of a season. And
Nobody ever thinks
bad, but
and he's been healthy. He hasn't had that groin issue. He's been fairly healthy. He just, for some reason, cannot seem to. I don't know. Maybe Tyrod Taylor's holding him back. I don't know.
Yeah. And who's your overproduction?
For my overproduction, sorry, I was letting my dog out. That's she was inside barking. My overproduction. I'm gonna pass. Michael, you go, and I'll think of mine because I didn't get a chance to think of mine. So
we'll come back around.
I think. Oh man, this is.
Oh,
This
Todd
is
Gurley.
tough. I think.
Todd Gurley. I'm sorry, Todd Gurley's mine, obviously.
Yeah,
that's
Todd
a good
Gurley
one.
was actually Todd Gurley was going to be my overproduction choice, but
Yeah, that's
I guess I'll sacrifice that so that Mike doesn't have to think too hard for another one.
Thank you.
We don't want Mike thinking.
Bad stuff happens.
You know, for underproduction, if you'd asked me 3 weeks ago, I think the unquestionable choice would have been Le'Veon Bell, but I think he's made enough of a case to get himself off of that list. I think DeMarco Murray's appointment.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
He seems to have had hamstring issues the last several years, hasn't he? Didn't he have some issues last year?
Last year he fought through it though, but like this year he's just not been nearly as good. He had that one game that I think he topped 20 something points. Everything else has been less than 15.
Yeah, and then with Henry now, I mean, yeah, they need to rest him. You know, I think he had a hamstring issue earlier in the year, and he never recovered from it. He never got that thing healed up, and now if you watch him in the games, he seems like he's limping every time he takes a step or every time he catches the ball. So
yeah,
he's definitely underachieved. Who's your overachiever, Mike?
Well, it was going to be Todd Gurley, but
you're all thank you by the way.
Yeah, no worries. So I would say don't normally like going with quarterback positions for this type of thing. Can't choose Todd Gurley. You know I'm going to choose Alex Smith.
Come
on.
Hey, listen. The fact that you have to say, "Oh my God," because you understand that Alex Smith should not have been putting up the production he's been putting up.
That's true.
You're right.
True. Yeah.
You asked. That's the definition of an overachiever in my book.
Yeah.
He has been good this year, hasn't he?
He has been stupidly good, and it's like guys are so down on it. Now I'm not saying I don't know if it's a trend or a fad. Like I don't know if by the end of the season he'll stay in this like top 5 status he seemed to have thrown himself into. But
I don't know what I have against him. I don't know. He always seems like a check down machine because he has been. But.
Oh, I totally agree. He has been up until this year, but this year, man, something's lit a fire. Some people like to speculate it was the drafting of it was the arrival of Andrew Mahoney.
Patrick Mahomes.
Drafting a quarterback in the first round, like trading up to get a quarterback in the first round, was basically like, Alex Smith, you better like get us to the playoffs and deep into the playoffs.
I think he's in his last year of his contract, isn't he? Or he's close to it.
He's close to it.
He's going to get paid so much money this offseason.
He's going to make bang.
Where is he going to go, though?
I mean,
we've got...
anywhere.
Okay, but if you had a choice right now, and this is another question, I guess. If you had a choice between Kirk Cousins, who is on his last year of his contract, or Alex Smith, who would you take?
Well, you're going to have to pick Alex Smith. You're going to have to pick Alex Smith because Kirk Cousins is going to be signed by San Francisco. There's more than one team out there that needs a quarterback. I mean, Mike Glennon got $18 million, for what, 3 games with the Chicago Bears? 4 games? I mean, somebody's going to pay Alex Smith a ton of money. Whether it's going to be the Dolphins, who, I'm sorry, a 33-year-old Matt Moore is not the answer. The Dolphins
are going to get Kirk Cousins if they're going to get a quarterback. They're either going to draft him or...
The Jaguars, they could definitely use Alex Smith.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my God,
that would be so dangerous. Holy crap!
He would fit that system so well.
That is.
That would be scary. That would be terrifying.
That'd be scary.
I just threw it out there, but I think he actually would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
No, he would.
Him with Leonard Fournette would be. Oh my gosh.
And the Jets could use a quarterback.
Oh, don't send him there to die.
Don't send him to the Jets.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. The Jets have their quarterback.
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown has been killing it. He has been killing
the journeyman.
You know what? He might even be. You might even throw him on that overachiever list.
No. We were okay. Maybe if you were expecting him to get the 4 points that we expected him to get, then he's overachieving. Yeah. But no.
Nah, I was just kidding. It's obviously Alex Smith over.
I'm switching my pick to Alex Smith as well. Alex Smith is the overachiever. He's doing great this year, and he's going to get paid a ton of money at the end of the year. I like that man. I love that man.
And with that, we're at the end of our podcast.
Yeah.
This has been the beta test, I guess. The first episode. Yeah. We're seeing what we got here, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get. So this has been Football Geek Out.
I would say we'll get, because I don't think anybody's gonna listen. So.
Well, hey, we'll at least get one.
We can edit that out.
We'll at least get one. That's all that matters. So. We'll have when we get like the millions of followers, people are gonna go back to this first episode and be like, Mike was so wrong. He's got like 1 million followers now on Twitter. And it's like, well, Mike.
Damn it, Adam! Why did you just say something like that? Now it's never gonna happen,
guys.
It's gonna be 2 million.
I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry, man. Hey, whoever listens to it, and I apologize for anything offensive.
All the offensive things you said. Well, thank you all for watching. We have social media everywhere at Football Geekout.
Listening.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said watching.
Oh, listening. I'm used to being on the camera. It's fine. We have social media everywhere. Check us out, and we'll see you next time.